It's a me, nee. It's a me, Mario. One of gaming's most iconic mascots, who, against all odds, manages to stay relevant since its inception in 1981. Interestingly, Super Mario is named after a real person, Mario Segal. He was the landlord of the warehouses from the American branch of Nintendo during their first years. Our story begins in 1980. The world of video games looked way different back then. The industry was ruled by American companies like Atari, and their Japanese competitors were almost nowhere to be seen. And sadly, that did not change with Nintendo's first arcade game in the USA, Radar Scope. So Minoru Arakawa, the then head of the newly formed Nintendo of America, was in a bit of a pickle. He was stuck with a couple of thousand arcade cabinets, whose biggest job at the moment was to collect dust. A bit of a shame, don't you think? Mr. Arakawa's father-in-law, who happened to be Nintendo President Hiroshi Yamauchi, he agreed. One thing led to another, and a man called Gunpei Yokoi was assigned to make something new to use in those arcade cabinets. Yokoi was the man who famously designed the Game & Watch handheld and would later make the Game Boy and the Super Mario Land series. The inventor, however, also saw this as a perfect chance for his new prodigy to shine, a young graphic designer who dreamed of being a comic book creator. This graphic designer was a big fan of Popeye, however. He envisioned a game based on a love triangle between Popeye, his girlfriend Olive, and the evil Bluto. Sadly, Nintendo at the time failed to get the rights of the franchise, so he set his sights on a new inspiration, King Kong. Bluto became a giant gorilla called Donkey Kong, Olive became a woman called Lady, and Popeye became Osan. Yes, the first internal name for Super Mario was Osan. This translates to old man in English, not a name chosen by that graphic designer. No, Shigeru Miyamoto, who indeed was his prodigy of Yokoi, originally wanted to call him Mr. Video. My plan was to use the same character in every video game I made, he said to Satoru Iwata, the president of Nintendo in the early zeros. Video was, of course, a shortened version of video game. Sadly, Mr. Video did not come true. And when Donkey Kong released on July 9th in Japan, the new hero was unnamed. And Nintendo of America went with Jumpman when they localized Miyamoto's title a month later. As we all know, Donkey Kong exploded in popularity, and all these arcade cabinets finally got to do a little bit more than collect dust. But for how famous the name Jumpman got, it actually wasn't that used that long. In fact, even in later promotional material for that same Donkey Kong cabinet in the same year, his name already was changed to Little Mario in North America. So, how did that change came to be? As we established in the beginning of the video, our little carpenter, is named after Mario Segal. He was the landlord of Nintendo's warehouses at the time. This fact is corroborated by Shigeru Miyamoto himself in an awesome promotional video for Super Mario Maker in 2015. But as for why Nintendo of America named him after Segal, well, that's to this day a big mystery. One theory says that Mario got his name because NOA president Minoru Arakawa thought that Jumpman and Mario Segal looked a little bit like each other. And another theory, coined by former warehouse manager Don James, stated that they gave him the name as a joke because none of the team had ever seen the man, despite loaning them the warehouse. A third theory contradicts this. Business associates from Segal said that he was a hard-driving businessman who could be warm and generous, but also could display a bit of a temper when he did not get what he wanted. And well, those arcade cabinets who collected dust before the release of Donkey Kong certainly did not pay for itself. So to make up for this, they named Mario after him. Whatever the reason was, the fact remained that Mario not only got named after Mario Segal, they even based his Italian roots on the man, since Segal indeed had Italian parents. Shigeru Miyamoto and his team back in Japan liked the name and began to use it for themselves. In Donkey Kong Jr., Jumpman officially was called Mario, and before long, Mario got his own game in Mario Bros. As for the Super that comes before it, that is of course named after the Super Mushroom, the item that makes him bigger in Super Mario Bros. And is the first item you encounter in that game. During the years that followed, Super Mario, or simply Mario, went on to jump to greater and greater heights, and nowadays even has 2 movies under his belt. The Italian roots also remained, with Charles Martinet, and since 2023, Kevin Afghani giving him that wonderful accent we all remember him by. Mario Segal never got any royalties from Nintendo for using the name. You might say, "I'm still waiting for my royalty checks," he said to Seattle Times in 1993, perhaps a bit jokingly. But no doubt that being named after one of the most recognizable characters in gaming must be something he would tell his kids and his grandchildren very proudly. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.